Hello dear students, I am Asha Bist. Today I welcome you all. The second chapter of History, Class 6, on the trail of the earliest people. Whenever you see someone traveling from place to place, there is a question you must be thinking in your mind that today we travel using different modes of transport, but what about the earlier people? How they used to travel from one place to another? Did they have the same kind of transportation system like we are having today, or something else they used to travel on? Now, today in this chapter, we'll study how early men used to travel from one place to another. The people who lived in the subcontinent as early as 2 million years ago are called hunter gatherers. So, it means that 2 million years ago, the people, those who used to live in subcontinent, they were hunter, means they were the animal killers as well as they were the food gatherers from different forest areas. As they hunted wild animals, caught fish and birds, gathered fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalks and eggs to gather food. It means that earlier people were not only hunting animals, killing animals, but as well as they were collecting different items from forest so that they can have their living. The ancient men moved from place to place mainly for four reasons. Now there are different reasons. Because of that, the ancient man traveled from one place to another so that he can fulfill his needs and requirement. Now today if you compare, you go from one place to another using the different means of transport. But do you think that how people used to travel earlier? Do they have the same kind of transportation as you are having today, or they traveled on their foot, or some other means of transportation they used to move from one place to another? If he stayed, the first point that tells that why the early men did not stay at one place. If he had stayed in the same place for the longer time, he would have used up all the resources like animals, plants, water of that place. So they have to go to other places in search of food. For example, like say if you are staying at one place and you are using all the resources available nearby to that place, like the plants, fruits, animals, water bodies. You continuously use it and you don't do anything to recover it. What will happen? After a certain period of time, the resources will be vanished from the earth. So this was the reason that after using resources from one particular place, the early men used to move out from that place so that he can have other place with full of resources. The second point comes, plants bear fruits, grains in particular seasons, so men move to fetch his food accordingly. Like if somebody plants a fruit tree, he need to wait for a long period of time so that he can get fruit from that plant. And we know that different plants get fruits in different seasons. So that's why to collect those fruits, early men moved from one place to another as the season changed. Animals do not stay in one place, but they move in search of prey. Hence, men moved along with the animals as the animals formed the food of men. Like that time I told you, the early men used to kill animals for the food. As we all know that animals, the wild animals especially, they don't stay at one place for a long time. They just move from one place to another. That's why when the animals moved from one place to another, Early men used to chase them so that he can kill them and eat the flesh of these animals. That's why this was one of the reason early men moved from place to place. Man needs water to perform almost all of his functions. Now, water is a basic necessity, like today it is a basic necessity. At early time also, water was a basic necessity. Though some rivers were perennial, perennial rivers are the rivers which have water throughout the year, flow throughout the year. Some were not so. Hence, men had to move even in search of water. As I told you that without water we cannot survive. So, while staying at one place, early man, if suppose he used all the water resources at a particular place, he need to move out of that place in search of water. According to archaeologists, hunters and gatherers probably made and used tools made of stone. Early men used to make stone tools to kill animals as well as to other things. So, wood and also bone he used to make tools. Out of these tools, only the one made from stone have survived. Now, while he was making tools using wood, stone, and bones, he saw that the tools which he made using stone tools were remained safe for a long period of time. That's why he made tools using stone. Ancient men used stones to cut meat, bone, and hides animal skin. As the tools made of stone were strong enough to cut the flesh of animal as well as to cut the bone of animals, so he used the tools made of stone. Scrap tree bark, he also scrapped tree bark using those stone tools. He chopped the fruits, dig plants root, hunting, stitching clothes from animal skin. He used stone tools. They even chopped wood with stone tools. Wood was used for fire and also to make huts and tools. While he was making tools from the stone, he used those stone tools to just put fire. While rubbing two stones, he started putting fire. He also used stone tools to make his huts and other tools. The places where the ancient man made tools with the stones are called as factory sites. This term factory site is very important. In earlier also you must have heard about this word. Now in further classes also you'll be hearing this name time and again. So factory site is a place where early men used to make tools using stones. Usually at this site we find blocks of stone, as early men used stone to make most of his tool. So here in factory site you can find bigger stones, tools that were made and discarded because they were not perfect, and clips of waste stone left behind. Now these factory sites are full of the leftover stones which were just left while making other tools. Tools that were made and discarded because they were not perfect, and chips of waste stone left behind. Sites may be found on the surface of the earth, buried under the earth, or sometimes even under water. Some people also used to live there for longer spells of time. Now, in factory site, people used to live for longer period of time. Why? And these kind of places were called habitat cum factory site. As people used to live in these factory site for a longer period of time, that's why these factory sites were known as habitat cum factory site, because people stayed for a longer period of time there. Bhimbetka, Madhya Pradesh. Bhimbetka, that is in Madhya Pradesh, is a very famous habitation site. It consists of caves and rock shelters close to Narmada Valley. People choose these natural caves because they provided shelter from the rain. Now, early men used to live in these caves because they were the natural home to early men, and they were strong enough to keep them protected. They provided shelter from the rain, heat and wind. Caves of this kind are also found close to Narmada Valley in Vindhyas. About this Narmada Valley, that is in Vindhyas, you studied in the first chapter also. People started living near Narmada river and collected food items as well as other forest product from there and Deccan plateaus. Two methods were used to make the stone instruments. Now, what were the methods used to make stone tools? In stone and stone method, the stone which is to be sharpened was held in one hand. Now, from one hand, the early men used to hold the stone which need to be sharpened, जिसको तेज करना होता था, and the other stone which was used as the hammer. In one hand he used to hold a stone which he used to make another tool, and in one hand he used stone hammer, a hammer made of stone, so that he can give shape to the other stone. The second stone was used to strike or flake the other stone. In pressure flaking, the edges of the stone to be sharpened were trimmed by pressing on the stone with a sharp stone rather than striking. What they were doing? They were, while sharpening the stone, they were trimming it. They were not hitting it hard, they were just trimming it so that the tool cannot be broken. All the sites with the evidence of hunters and gatherers are found near the sources of water like rivers and lakes. As earlier also, I explained you that water is a basic necessity for human being. That's why early man made his or her shelters nearby the water bodies so that he can have water at any point of time. Okay. Traces of ash matlab raak, are found in Kurnool caves of Andhra Pradesh. This suggests that people were familiar with the use of fire. That time people discovered fire. There, the archaeologists found ashes. That's why they came to know that early time people started using fire. They must have used the fire of many things like cooking. That time people must have used fire for cooking, lighting the house and scaring the animals away. As early men used to scared of animals at night especially, so what he did, while he started putting fire, he came to know that animals used to scare of fire. Animals are scared of fire. So what he did, he just put fire out of his cave so that at night he can keep himself safe from wild animals. I hope you are getting it. Now this is the map which is showing important archaeological sites in Indian subcontinent. The archaeological sites you can see here, these Mehergarh, Burj Home, Bhimbetka, Koldia, Mahagra, Chirang, Kolkata. Okay, these are the archaeological sites from where ancient tools and other items are found. Around 1200 years ago, with shift of the climate to a relatively warm condition, when the climate started changing around 1200 years ago, led to the development of grassland. After the change in the climate, what happened? Grassland used to develop. जो घास के मैदान थे वो डेवलप होने लगे, and in turn increases in the animal population. जैसे घास के मैदान बढ़े वैसे वैसे क्या हुआ, जो animals की population थी वो भी बढ़ने लगी. Which fed on grass. ऐसे animals जो कि क्या खाते थे? घास खाते थे. And ultimately increases in the animals which fed on this grass eating animals. And later what happened? The animals who used to eat the animals who eat grass. So both the animals number increased. Ancient people followed these animals and learned about their food habits and breeding seasons. Now what the early man did? He started knowing more about the animals those were feeding grass, and after that he started knowing about the animals breeding season also. This has helped them to think about herding and rearing the animals. So what helped him in this? After he just came to know about animals and their breeding seasons, he just got the knowledge that how he can rear animals, कैसे और किस हालात में वो animals को पाल सकता है. During this time, fishing also became important. Not only rearing animals, but at that time, at early time, what people started, they started keeping rearing fishes also. Even the grain-bearing grasses like wheat, barley and rice grew naturally. Now naturally, early men saw that these paddy are also grown in parts of subcontinent. Men, women and children collected these seeds and learned about their growth, ripening, taste, etc. Now, after just looking at these grains, what men and women did, they started collecting these grains and later they just started getting knowledge that in which season they should be grown. This helped them to grow plants on their own. That after that, they started growing crop which helped them in feeding themselves. The earliest period is called as the Paleolithic age. Paleolithic man means earlier, पहले का समय. It is a Greek word, paleo, old, purana, and lithos, stone. It extends from 2 million to 1200 years ago. This covers about 99% of human history. Okay, that era about 1200 years, 12,000 years ago, it covers 99% of the human history. This is divided into lower, middle and upper Paleolithic age. Now, before the 12,000 years ago, what the 99% of history depends upon that era, and that Paleolithic age was divided into two parts, middle as well as upper Paleolithic age. The time period when we see the environmental changes beginning about 12,000 years ago, environment changes also occur to 10,000 years ago is called as the Mesolithic age. It is a Greek word meso, middle. Meso means middle, बीच वाला, and lithos mean stone. Stone age का बीच वाला समय. The stones used during this period were very tiny and are called microliths. The stone tools which people started using at that point of time were very small, tiny, and that's why they were known as the microliths. And these microliths were stuck onto handles of bone or wood. Now what they started making the handles of, they started making handles of stone as and wood. The next stage from 10,000 years ago was called the Neolithic age, and Neolithic age started just after that 10,000 years ago and till now it is going on. It is a Greek word, neo matlab new, and lithos means stone. The caves in which these early people lived have paintings on the walls. Now in Neolithic sites you can see that there are paintings on the wall of animals cave, the elements cave. Some of the best examples are from Madhya Pradesh. Now these paintings example are famous in Madhya Pradesh and southern Uttar Pradesh. These paintings show wild animals. Now what pictures are shown in these paintings? These paintings shows wild animals drawn with great accuracy and skill. Now the pictures which are drawn on the wall of these caves are beautifully drawn like any skilled person or artisan draws the pictures. There is no clear evidence, but it is proposed that both men and women may have done their work together. That time it is assumed that both the men and women, they used to do all the work activities together, or they may be some tasks which were to be performed only by men or women also. And some people says that there were the specific tasks, specific work which were performed by men, as well as there were some specific tasks which were performed by women also. There may have been different practices in different parts of the subcontinent. Means in each and every part of subcontinent there were different activities performed by both men and women. Ostriches were found in India during Paleolithic age. The bird ostrich were found in Paleolithic age. right? Large quantities of ostrich eggshells were found in Pune because there is an evidence of eggshells which were found in Pune. Those eggshells were of ostrich. Maharashtra also, Pune, Maharashtra, yes. Designs were engraved on it, and on these shells designs were engraved, and also beads were made out of the shells. Out of these eggshells, beads were also made. Large numbers of Paleolithic sites were found in Hunski, Karnataka. These include both habitat sites and also habitat cum factory sites. Factory site, I already told you that factory site is a place where stone tools were made. These sites were closer to the spring water body. These sites always they made these sites nearby the water body, so because water was a basic necessity, so that they can have water anytime they wanted. Tools during this period were made of limestone. Earlier people used to make stone tools, later they started making limestone tools. Now that was all about the chapter. Homework. In homework, what you have to do? You have to read the chapter thoroughly once or twice. After reading the chapter, what I want from you all that you are going to make some exercises. First, you will make 4 fill-ups, fill in the blanks, 4 true and false, and 3 short and 2 long questions only you have to create. So after creating these exercises, you'll just bring these questions. We'll discuss these questions in class, and each and every individual will participate in answering your questions. Hope you got the concept. I would love to the activities which you will do related to the chapter, like the home assignment. Very soon we'll be meeting with the new chapter. Till that time, work hard, read the chapter and do the assignment I have given. Thank you.